I'm a pretty dang kid.
And they gifted Nathan and the Stone. Yeah, that's ref the district. Come on now and join us.
Let's go.
And they gifted
We are
Nathan and the Stoner. Yeah, that's ref the district.
Just a podcast.
Come on now and join us.
You join in. Yeah, let's talk about the bigger picture. Let's talk about how we be ballin', playing with the Wizards. Let's talk about the Nats and how they always got good pictures. Let's talk about the cats who rescue, turn them boys to winners.
Injuries and updates, oh yeah.
To the opponent, we stand toe to toe, yeah.
To the top, this podcast gonna go, yeah.
I think it's something you should know, yeah.
And they good with them all-season stats, that's a fact. And they can give you the season recap, yeah. You know that's for a fact, yeah it is.
And you know we got our team on our back,
we to us no other team can match.
No.
Cause our team is way better.
We the best one.
Never be under the weather. W with the best ladder.
It's the best one.
Hey, we love Washington. And we some die-hard fans.
Yeah, we are.
And you know we keep it on 10. Let's talk about the offense.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
And they gifted
We are
Nathan and the Stoner. Yeah, that's ref the district.
Just a podcast.
Come on now and join us.
You join in.
I'm a pretty dang kid.
Yeah, let's talk about the bigger picture. Let's talk about how we be ballin', playing with the Wizards. Let's talk about the Nats and how they always got good pitchers. Let's talk about the cats who rescue, turn them boys to winners. Injuries and updates, oh yeah. To the opponent, we stand toe to toe, yeah. To the top, this podcast gonna go, yeah. I think it's something you should know, yeah.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to episode 29 of Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. He's the Stoner. And yes, you loved him. We loved him. He's back on the show. It's Trevor Stores joining us here tonight.
What's up, Trevor?
Doing? Not much, man. How are you guys doing this evening?
Yeah, thanks for coming back on with us, man. We really appreciate it.
Happy to be back. Happy to be back. I had a blast, so round 2, here we go.
Now, I have to admit, really, you're back on because we want Mama Stores to join us in the
I knew
chat
it.
again.
I knew it. I had a feeling that's what it was, but
we have ulterior motives.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
I'm just glad I'm here, guys. I work in DC, and my bus decided it was just gonna live in Annapolis. My bus straight just drove right by the stop, did not stop, and I'm just like, I'm looking at the time, going, this isn't good, guys. This isn't good. I might not make it on time.
So you came in hot. So you just basically just walked right in, turned everything on, said, let's go.
Yeah,
let's talk.
Thankfully, I've got a great team. The team decided that they were going to get things together. Trevor got everything of his set up. We got a microphone. We got Stoner who set up all the YouTube stuff. So all I had to do was come up, open OBS, open up my Skype, and was just like, guys, I'm going to eat while we're waiting.
Shoving his face.
What did you have anyway? What was that?
I had some chicken sandwiches. So my wife's pescatarian, so it's the vegan sandwiches. So it's the vegan chicken sandwiches. It's even vegan cheese. I'm not sure if the bread's vegan. It might be. We'll see. A big shout out to my wife Jazzy, who had that going for me. So as soon as I came through the door, she didn't even wait. She was just like, had the plate held up. I grabbed it, gave her kisses, and went downstairs. So shout out to her.
Very nice.
Less of a shout out for the bus that decided to leave me stranded in DC for an additional 20 minutes. Yeah, not cool at all. But hey, you know what? We're here. We got a great show planned for today, for tonight. We're doing it tonight. Now, normally we do stream our shows on Thursday. Our Thursday shows started at the beginning of this month. We wanted to do Thursdays because it works out really well for us. But hey, there are two weeks the rest of this year that don't work, and this happens to be one of them. And it's because tomorrow our Washington football team will be playing against the New England Patriots. So we know you guys as much as you love us, and we are nearing 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So much thanks to that. If you do enjoy Ref the District, like us on the bottom here, like and subscribe. We very much appreciate that. You can also get us in podcast form anywhere you listen to podcasts. So hit us up on Twitter if that's not the case. But we do enjoy what we do, and we're here for you, and we're going to be talking Washington football team. I know the Nationals are playing right now. Who cares? I know that the Wizards had summer league. Who cares? We're talking about the big dog in the house, Washington football team. Game tomorrow. It's preseason action, but I don't care. Football is back, folks. Football is back. So good to have football back here. What is, in fact, as we get to the warm-up here, during the game, we'll talk about the game itself, about the preseason game 1, and in the post game, we're going to bring back a special, thing that we do here at Ref the District, a little dollar action in the post game. But for the warm up, I just wanted to talk about preseason. What is it that you guys enjoy when it comes to preseason?
Well, I'll go first, Trev, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Preseason is just it's like spring training in baseball, right? It's that magic of the excitement, the anticipation of a new season. Most of your guys are healthy, and by the way, nobody got hurt in the Friday night game, like you all said was going to happen. Didn't happen.
Wait, but great, Stoner. Now we're jinxing us for tomorrow.
I never said that. I never said that.
All right, so it's the excitement, it's the anticipation of a new season. Everybody starts off fresh. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Is just the, finally we're there after how long are they off? Are they off for like 7 months before we finally get another game? So
yeah, Washington has a bad track record, obviously. So this was the first time we saw really decent, January ball, like deep into January. But normally, you're talking most of the time they're off until this month. So 7 to 8 months of no football. How about you, Trevor? What's got you most excited that preseason's back? What is it that you enjoy about preseason?
We get to see who these no names are and what they're about. Since our MO of the draft the past few years has been finding diamonds in the rough later rounds, and they shine in the season. Now we get a chance to actually see them shine a little bit before the regular season, just to see if they're ready for game time situations and if they were worth that reach, so to speak, in those rounds. So that's what I'm excited for.
I like both of those reasons, right? Like, I love the fact that football is back. We finally get to see the guys in actual game action, and then I love seeing those players that are deep on the roster. I mean, look at Trevor, you've talked about it in your other podcasts as well. Like, you got these players, and we hear this with Washington football team pods. Like, we're arguing over the 6th and 7th receiver. Like, that's how, and this is the time that we get to see these guys in action. Like, I told you, Harmon is better than AGG, or AGG is better than Harmon. Or, like, wait a minute, this isn't the Steve Sims Jr. This is like Steve Sims Jr. from 2 years ago when we fell in love with him, and not the bum that we, trotted out in the field last year. So I love to see it. Those, you call them diamonds or roughs. Maybe that's what we're going to do. So Hogs Haven calls it the Mason Brennan Award, right? So that's for the hype player. For Ref the District, maybe we're going to call them like the District Diamond for Diamond.
There you go.
So
hang on, let me write
Ref
that down
District
so I don't forget.
Write it down, so District Diamond.
So
you're welcome.
On that note, like, who do you think will be this season's Ref the District Diamond?
This season's Ref the District Diamond? I'm going to go with Shaka Tony, or maybe Bradley King on the defensive end side. Maybe even James Smith-Williams on the opposite defensive end side.
That's those are some names I love to hear, right? Because those are actually ones I don't think a lot of people are bringing up. And
that's good.
Yeah, I want to see them in action because, really what you look at, and I think we've talked about this on the podcast, is you have Sweat and Chase, and then it's a drop-off.
Yeah.
So getting to see these guys and being a little bit more excited for them, those are I do think that they can get a little bit of hype surrounding them. How about you, Stoner? Who's your Ref the District Diamond this season?
Ooh, you ready for this? Jarrett Patterson. That's he's gonna be the guy who shines because he's gonna get a lot of carries.
He is,
right?
And I think that's a very safe choice.
And then he's not gonna make the roster.
Yeah, he'll get practice squad. He'll get practice squad. That's usually what happens with the diamond who gets who shines the brightest. Is it's like, cool, here you are in the practice squad now. I agree with that one. I think that Jared Patterson's going to get a lot of touches. I think that a lot of people are going to be like, really enamored with him. This is a guy who scored 8 touchdowns in one game when he was in Buffalo. Short little stack guy. He's a local guy, so definitely going to be a lot of hype around him. I think that the Heineke train is probably going to get out of control. I think that's another option. Here in DC, we love our backup quarterbacks, and I don't think Heineke's going to be any different than that. I know a lot.
That's
of people
one train that you probably wouldn't have mind missing you today is a Heineke train.
I'd be okay missing that train. It's good.
It's
good. I would be okay missing that train. You're absolutely right. Samus Reyes is another one that I know a lot of people are excited to see out in game action. I know that I have $1 riding on that one. Speaking of our dollar bets, so I thought that he was going to make the 53-man roster when they picked him up. Maybe not so much now. If I had to redo it, I would have. I would not make that assertion.
Yeah.
They
But,
signed like 3 tight ends after they signed.
They
him.
did.
That was like your clue right there. You should have known at that point.
I know Trevor
And
has
it's
his
always
favorites.
he's always getting yelled at practice against reporters. Like Pete Hunter is in his what every day. So
That's good.
You can say
He
that
needs
here, Trevor.
growth.
You can say he's in his
Okay.
ass. Yeah,
he's in his ass.
He's in his ass all
Yeah,
day.
So one of the things that I think is going to be interesting is normally there's 4 games, right, in a preseason.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one that the first game, which is really a kind of a slack off game. 2 is kind of you start to see a little bit more of the starters. 3 is like the real warm up game, and then 4 is another slack off game. How is it going to work this year? How do you think it's going to work this year with 3 games? We're going to start with Trevor.
3 games. I think tomorrow is going to be a slack, at least for the starters, for most of the starters. I do believe the second game might be the full tilt on warm up game, and then I do believe the third game will be a mixture of half and half. Maybe the starters might not go as long as they did in the second game, but they'll still might play, 5 or 6 series. I don't know, like a half and half. That's how I figure. Me personally, I would do that way too because we only have 3 weeks. We want to start off helpless. So,
how about you, Stone?
I think they're probably going to go this first game. They're probably going to go with the starters 1, maybe 2 series. If they go 1 series and they go 3 and out, they'll probably get another one, right?
Yeah,
but
for
if they put any kind of drive together, even like 5 plays and then they punt, that's it. Get them out of there. They got to do things. And then the second game will be a dress rehearsal. But still, I only think they're going to go about a quarter. I don't even think they're going to go a half, the starters, in the second game. And then third game, then they're not even going to dress. I mean, they're going to do warm-ups and all that, and then they're going to go back in, and they're all going to take their pads and everything off, all the starters, and not even play. But it's interesting.
That'll be the Steven Montez game.
I was going to say Steven Montez time.
Well, what are they going to do with Kyle Allen hurt, right? And if Fitz only plays a series or 2, and Heineke's going to have to play the rest of the half, you would think.
Well,
right?
yeah,
then Montez the second half in this coming up game.
I believe this preseason, like you said, Heineke, this is his tryout to prove that extension that he got signed to before we signed anybody else.
Yeah,
a couple $1 million a year, no less. So not exactly third string money. That's definitely your backup quarterback money. And even I say that, but then Colt McCoy, was making $10 million on the bench for a decade. So we'll see how it plays out. I do think Allen's injury is one to watch out for to see where it goes. But man, it's just really good. I do think that today or tomorrow's game, Thursday's game against New England, a drive, maybe 2. I do think they'll use next week's game as that dress rehearsal, just because they want to give their starters some time to rest prior to the legit season. So I don't know that we'll see them come, that third preseason game, which will be so New England is away, but the following 2 games are home games, and the Perry clan will be using that as a dress rehearsal for us. So we're season ticket holders. Trevor, are you going to be there too? Are you going to be able to make it up for the games?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
So it'll be dress rehearsal for season ticket holders to make sure, okay, this is where we park. It's in the orange parking lot. And
exactly.
This is where we come in. This is where we get our concession stands at a discount. This is where we can get this stuff. So
there's where the gold member lounge.
Yeah, the gold member lounge. Oh man, when I was reading all about the gold member lounge, I was just like, this is going to be good.
Well, yes. When you get there and you park and you figure out where you're parking and all that, the next most important thing is to make sure you find where the good tailgates are. If you're not having your own, for example, find out where the WFT pods are doing their tailgate. And apparently there's going to be like a cornhole league, right?
Yeah,
for the
that's
WFT
what I've been seeing that on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure if I can't make the games, make sure you guys are there representing and winning some games.
Trevor, how good are you at cornhole, Trevor?
I'm not too bad.
Not too
the
bad.
greatest,
As you're being
but-
modest,
Nah.
I mean, this is
I'm not
a
being
man
honest.
who last podcast said that he's better than Davis Bertan. So
I still am.
So
I still am.
So I mean, if you have to say that you're pretty good, I feel like that might still put me in territory. You know, don't let me hire Mowgli over you, Trevor.
Nah, never. I've got a little bit of skill. I'll be all right.
All right.
Yeah, so you got to
we'll
find.
hold it
So you
down.
got to find the good tailgates, right?
Yeah.
When you park, and then you got, like you said, you got to find the gold member discounts when you go in to get your concessions, and then you got to go get to your seat, find out who's around you, make sure you got good people around you, and if you see any, who's the second preseason game against?
It's
the Bengals.
Bengals is third, so it should
Oh,
be Ravens.
you mean
Ravens
that-
are
Oh,
the
it's
second.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you see any Ravens fans, you got to throw them out of your section. They don't belong there. Just don't even
Yeah,
let
it's
them
the battle
sit
of the
there.
Beltway. Get him out of
Yeah,
here.
get them out of there. Yeah, and then watch good football. Watch at least one team playing good football. Our squad.
I really hope that's the case. It is preseason, baby. So if you
It
are
is.
going to be at the game, not tomorrow, but next week, go ahead and hit us up now so we know where to meet you up at. I know that we're some chatter about where people are sitting, and we know which is going to be the best section. Just putting it out
11.
there. Not quite 11.
What'd you say? 111?
Yes, sir.
I don't know about that. I think 103 is the best section. I'm just
You know
I
it.
may be biased.
You know it. But if you're
We
gonna
should
go
find
to
out.
the game, hit us up.
Yeah.
And we would love to meet with you guys, and Trevor, you and I are gonna meet up. So
Of course,
so
yeah.
that's gonna happen. Stoner will get him down from his, for maybe for the Baltimore game. We got to find you a seat because you're in that Baltimore location. You got to really rep the district for us up north of Baltimore. So we'll see how that
All or
goes.
nothing, Stoner.
I hear you.
That's going to wrap up our preseason talk. When we come back for the game, we are going to be talking about the game. It's New England versus your Washington football team here on Ref the Dish. Game on. It is here. Football's back. As Stoner mentioned, after 7-8 months of not having a game, they're back on the field. And it's against the vaunted, the dreaded, not really, not this year. Not this
Tom
year.
Brady
New England
less.
Patriots.
Yeah, Tom Brady list.
What do we think that we're going to see out of New England tomorrow? What we talked a little bit about our starters playing 1 to 2 series. Do you think Cam plays a quarter, a half?
Ooh, to be honest, I think Cam will play close to a quarter, if not the whole quarter. Coming off of I think he got surgery on his shoulder this offseason. So we'll see how he does out there. And then Mac Jones is right there also in the mix for starting. So I think it's going to be a quarterback competition this first game, at least, or maybe a quarter or half a quarter.
I think you're going to see a different New England team, not just in the preseason game, but I think you're going to see a different New England team this year. They're not going to be the team without weapons, the team struggling to get down the field. And I'm guessing I've heard nothing but praise for Mac Jones's play. I thought he's terrible. Who knows?
We celebrated New
celebrated
England
that he
picking
got
him up.
selected.
We were so excited he was off the board before Washington picked. Like we were.
Yeah, I didn't want him either.
No,
No, yeah,
not a
we
chance.
didn't want the temptation of him being there at 19. Was it 19?
It was 19,
whatever it
yeah.
was. Yeah, we didn't even want the temptation of him being there. But I think I've heard great things about him in camp. That he's just lighting the place up. But you've heard great things just about everybody. There's about 3 or 4 guys and 3 or 4 teams where you've heard some negativity, but everyone else thinks they're winning the Super Bowl this year. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how Cam's, like you said, like how his shoulder is, how this team, how our defense is going to match up against. They've got like 3 high-end tight ends, right? And Washington traditionally does not defend the tight end very well. So it'll be nice to see how they defend. you can't get too caught up in all of that because they're probably just going to play some very vanilla defense, some very basic. They're not going to do all kinds of stunting and all this,
exotic.
but still, but still, you just want to see guys making plays, and you want to see execution on both sides of the ball. That's the biggest thing you're looking for, right?
I think what will be interesting to see when it comes to that QB competition is, you brought up Mac Jones. Do they give Cam his reps and then bring in Mac Jones with the starters? Do you think the competition's that close? Is that something we're going to see tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure.
In the first preseason game, though?
The first game?
Yeah, probably not.
That's true. Probably not.
I mean, these guys have only been hitting a few times. They've only been hitting in full pads like 5 or 6 times. You want to all of a sudden have your guys playing a quarter or a half, just hitting full speed. I don't think they'll do that. Probably not.
Maybe Trevor, maybe next game?
Yeah, probably next game for sure, since it's only 3 games this year. I think the next game will probably be their biggest quarterback competing competition-wise game that they'll have.
I think it'll be a lot determined what happens this game. So if Mac Jones plays reasonable against Washington, they could probably try that in game 2 to see if they just should start him for the season. I don't think that he will play too well because I think even in playing against the twos, I think Washington's defense has some pretty good depth. Like, we did mention the trouble guarding the tight end, and there has been some questions on the edge rushing and the cornerbacks, but I do think overall the quality's still there for Washington's defense. Do you think they will be the more impressive of the unit, or do you think the offense tomorrow for Washington will be the one that people are talking about for the day after reckoning, which we'll get to in a little bit?
Well, it's always, offense is sexy. Defense wins championships, and offense is sexy. So you really want to see the offense clicking, especially when you had to sit through the offense from the last couple of years, right? I mean, I'm telling you, if you have a first down on the very first play and Fitz goes back and he throws about a 9-yard out to Scary Terry and he picks up like 13, you can take him off the field. I'm done.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Let's
I'm
go.
done.
That's all I need to see. It was beautiful.
That's
Everyone
it.
clicked. He wasn't pressured. He got off his man in coverage, made the connection, got a couple yards back. I'm good. You're done. You can bring the backups in.
I'm also good with, if we get ball first and 10, throw a bomb. They're not going to expect that. Just throw a bomb to Scary Terry or Diami. Touchdown. Sit him out. We're done.
I fully expect that bomb play to be something they're going to do with Heineke. They're gonna roll him out to the right. Diami's going to just fly by his guy, and they're just going to chuck it.
And then Heineke's going to throw it about 10 yards short. Because he's got a noodle arm. He's got a noodle arm.
He'll shake his arm like he's been doing all camp.
Yeah, that's been worrisome. There is some QB issues for Washington football team. You got Allen banged up on the lower half of his body, and you got Heineke, who's been shaking his arm, looking shaky. I know a lot of people believe in that Heineke hype, but he's been.
I just don't understand it.
You're not a Heineke guy either.
No,
this is not a Heineke podcast.
No.
yeah, this is not the Heineke fan club. But are you a Fitz guy, Trev? Do we know this?
Yeah, I'm a Fitz guy for this year. Yeah,
for this year, right? But that's not saying a whole lot. But are you a believer? Are you a Fitz believer?
I'm a Fitz believer, especially after seeing what he did in Miami last year and. Other teams he's been on, he might not have a winning record, but he keeps his teams in the game for the most part.
Yeah, and Washington's not looking for, an Aaron Rodgers. We'd love to see Aaron Rodgers in the burgundy and gold. But this season, the expectation with the defense is to be top 10. And Fitz has only had a top 10 defense once, and they finished with double-digit wins. So, Fitzpatrick doesn't have to be anything other than who he is, which is Fitzpatrick, which is a, above replacement level QB. I'm not gonna say I'm not going to say that he's above average, but he's at least above replacement level, right? So he's not.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So, and I think that's something that you mentioned, that we're excited to see the offense open up. And I think that's one of the reasons why people really, stuck with Heineke, is that game against Tampa, the offense actually looked exciting for the first time all season, and probably the last few seasons. It has looked exciting to watch, and I think people just want that back in Washington, because here in the DC area, we're used to having some pretty good offenses, and that just hasn't really been the case here for several years. I think probably the last prolific offense that the team had would have been RG3's rookie season.
No. Okay, hang on now. Don't forget about Kirk Cousins' year.
Oh, okay. He was pretty good.
They were an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, I just don't remember that. I think that one was consistently there, but it wasn't as exciting to watch.
Nah.
Well, I mean, you had Pierre Garcon, who had over 100 catches, right? And you had Deshaun Jackson when he was on the field. He was making big plays.
Okay, all right.
That was a good offensive year. Was it a good team and all that? No, but it was a good offensive year. He set all kinds of team records. So there was that.
This is probably one of the most talented offenses that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be a part of too, I think. We've got a bunch of weapons on offense that are going to be hard to defend for upcoming defenses. So
Curtis Samuel starting one of those targets is Curtis Samuel, who's starting the season on the PUP, and we talked about how
starting the preseason on the PUP. Make sure you differentiate.
Fair enough. He could technically come back for week 1. So
he can come back. He can come back tomorrow.
Because he's on the. You're right. He's on the active list, right? So
the preseason PUP list. You can come back anytime.
Okay.
So that doesn't the PUP list is a little bit overblown, especially in the preseason. All it is since he's on that list, they just get another body in camp.
Yeah, he essentially doesn't count against the roster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but with him not going to see game time, who are the receivers that you think are going to see play with the ones, and then are going to see heavy play with the second string before turning it over, definitely at the half, to those Isaiah Wrights and DeAndre Carters? Because I believe those two are the bottom rung for us right now. I mean, I do think AGG and Harmon are not far behind, but I think those two are really battling it out. So who do you think we're going to see? Obviously Diami, right?
Yeah. Maybe.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, he might not get those starter minutes.
Yeah, he might. Right? He might get those CeeDee Lamb minutes where you just put the jersey on and stand on the sideline. I mean, seriously.
I guess that's what they did with Terry, right? They didn't really expose Terry in the preseason, and
I don't think they're going to expose Terry tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Terry plays one series and is done.
Right. So you're going to see a lot of AGG. You're going to see a lot of Harmon. A lot of Steven Sims Jr., a lot of Carter,
Cam Sims,
Brown, Cam Sims probably. I mean, they're 5 guys that are locks, right? Complete 100% locks, unless they get hurt. Sorry, had to bring it up again.
Every time, Stone.
You got McLaurin, you got McLaurin, Brown, Samuel, Cam Sims, and Humphreys, right?
Yes.
Those 5 are locks, 100%.
You think Cam Sims is 100%?
100% lock. He's a lock.
John Keim even says that he's 100%.
Guy. He's a lock. And then
John Keim says it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then you've got AGG, Harmon, Steven Sims Jr., Isaiah Wright. I guess you haven't heard a lot out of him, and DeAndre Carter, right? Tony Brown. He doesn't have a chance. All those guys for 1, maybe 2 spots if they decide to keep Carter for the return guy. Right,
which I like.
Oh, and Milne. We haven't even talked about Milne. He'll get a lot of run tomorrow.
Practice squad.
Yeah, he's a practice
He,
squad.
he's easily hitting the practice.
Oh,
squad.
what'd you spill? What'd you spill?
Just
Come
water.
on, please tell me.
It's been that kind of day, man. It's been that kind of day.
But
PXTD from
we
the
talk
bus.
about how AGG and Harmon are like battling for a spot. They might both be out. They might both be out. You might see Steven Sims Jr. take that 6th spot. I'm just saying.
No, I can't. I can't.
I think if Steven Sims
can't.
Jr. makes this roster, DeAndre Carter's not making it because that's who they're going to put back.
That's right.
That's who they're going to traumatize us fans with, and we're going to have to panic every time there's a punt on whether or not it's actually going to end up in our hands.
Like, that's what DeAndre Carter does in his NFL career. He returns kicks.
Right. But
Can
he's
we
a
just
roster
keep him
spot
for
then,
that?
man.
That's a whole roster.
That's fine.
spot.
I can't.
So then you got one less DB probably that you're not going to have if you're going to have a 7th receiver, right? So I mean, if you're going to keep Harmon or AGG for that 6th spot, then you're going to have Carter for a 7th spot, and then you're going to lose probably a defensive back spot. So go figure that out. Those number games are not fun this year.
Yeah,
Not like a bunch of guys that are like, oh, he's getting cut. There's a lot of guys you just don't know.
And back to what I want to see I want to see those guys treat this as like a regular season game. I want those guys to treat it as that. I don't want them to have it instilled that it's just preseason. No, this is a regular season game for you.
Just treat it like your job is on the line, because it is.
Yeah, like a one and done. You win, you advance the next round. You lose, this might be your last time you suit up. Like, you never know.
Our very own Jason Wright, our president for Washington football team, talked a little bit about this on Twitter when someone was bashing the Hall of Fame game. And he was just like, no, you don't understand. For some of these guys, this is it, right? This is their chance. And I think for those players, like, you're going to see, those Steven Sims Jr., if he's not playing for a roster spot here, he's playing for a roster spot somewhere.
Oh, of
and
course, yes.
And I think that he will find a spot because he flashes enough, and he's shown that even this camp cycle where he makes these plays. He's always he's had the shake, right? He's been able to get the groove. He runs an excellent route. The problem that we've had with Steven Sims Jr. is he just got stone hands. The ball bounces off of him all the time. He drops the ball. His kick returning ability is almost non-existent at this point because he doesn't catch the ball to start running. So I think that he is a dark horse to potentially stick around on this roster.
He might.
As much hype that comes around for the and AGG.
I feel like he's just a camp star. No offense if he's listening, but I just feel like he's a camp star. Like he's lining up against the same defenders every day, so like of course it's gonna look great. But when he lines up against Stephon Gilmore or I don't know Jalen Ramsey or any other lockdown corner.
Yeah.
Is he ever going to actually do that, though? He's never playing on the outside like that. He's only ever going to play the slot.
I was just naming cornerbacks. Sorry, Nathan.
Right.
Any nickel, any slot cornerbacks that he's going against.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Name one slot corner that you would consider shutdown that's not on the Washington football team. Because Fuller's the only one I can think of that plays the slot who can be considered a shutdown corner. I don't think I can name another corner that's shut down in the in the slot.
Maybe one of his
Kyle
brothers.
Fuller.
Maybe one of them. But what if? So let's say Sims Jr. goes out tomorrow night, and he just balls out, right? And he catches 5 for 61 yards, and doesn't drop any. 5 targets, 5 catches, 61 yards, and has 2 punt returns for 12 yards. He doesn't fumble it. He's very clean in all his catches. What if he just balls out? Then you got to say, players can get better.
He survives in advance. He survives to the next round.
There you go.
This man here is describing balling out as 5 catches for 61 yards.
And 2 punt returns for a total of
12 yards. 12 yards.
Which means you just proved the point. He's going to dance around back there before he decides to turn upfield, and that's the 12 yards.
He's going to catch one, fair catch, so no yards, and he's going to return the other one, 12 yards. There you go. But yeah, of course, that's balling out in a preseason game.
No,
Nobody
not,
comes out of
Dominic.
a preseason game with
If-
8 catches for 122.
No, you absolutely do, but
He
it's usually
should.
one of these deeper roster guys. It's usually this is where you come up with the district diamond. This is where someone's going to
Yes.
come out with a breakout game, and it might not be a receiver with 5 catches for 61 yards, but it could be someone like Patterson though, who rushes for 150 yards. I would consider
That's
that.
not going to
That'd be cool.
happen. That's not going to happen.
The kid is probably going to get 25 touches tomorrow.
He's not getting 25.
Him and Lamar Miller are splitting carries tomorrow.
Exactly. Like Gibson, I guarantee you, is probably going to run twice.
He
One.
might not even.
Yeah.
Right.
He might not even.
You
know,
got Barber. You got
Barber. Barber's going to get some
I'm
runs.
so sick of Peyton Barber.
Come on, he's fine. He's fine.
He looks trim, right? He looks a lot more trim than he has in years past. But I don't know that works out for him because really you just want that guy to take a beating the first couple downs if Gibson's getting a breather. You're not putting him out there for third. You're
Right,
putting
but
J.D.
you got-
McKissick. How many touches is McKissick going to get?
Yeah, and how many is Lamar Miller going to get? And how many is
Lamar
Patterson?
Miller's going to get a lot of
Is there
touches.
another one? Is there another running back that we don't even know about that's going to get a bunch of carries as well? Patterson's not getting 25 carries. Get out of here. That's a guy. If you got a guy who gets 25 carries in any game, the rest of the team is getting 4 or 5. Guys don't only rush 30 times. Teams only rush 30 times a game nowadays.
All right,
in
so
this
they might
fashion.
hold
Derrick
his
Henry.
25 touches until the third preseason game.
I got the under. I'm
You're going to take the
a
under?
little bit advanced. I'm a little bit advanced of dollar. I'm taking the under on 25 carries for Patterson.
That's not where
Anybody
I
want
set
that?
I think
Anybody want
everybody's
that
going to
bet?
want that. You bring up a fair
Okay.
point.
Well, somebody said 25. I'm just trying to get the under on
Okay,
that.
well, one of us said that balling out is 5 catches for 61 yards.
Okay. You
And
want to take
the
the
sad
over on
thing,
that?
Steven Sims will think he's balling
Yeah.
out when he gets that
Yeah.
stat. He'll think he's
All right.
balling out at the same time.
He'll
All right,
think he's
here's
balling
one.
out because the key factor to that was Stoner said five targets and 5 catches. For Steven
Yeah.
Sims, that is balling out. Like that's
Thank you.
That's,
Yeah.
that's like
That's what I'm saying.
that's like a season. That's a career day for Steven Sims Jr. It's still not balling out
Yes.
though.
For him, it is. That's what I'm saying. For him, that's balling out in a preseason game. 5 for 61. Anybody want to take the over? Wait, on any Washington receiver getting more than 61 yards receiving in a game?
I'll take the over.
Anybody want? You'll take any. I'll give
Any
you- I'll give
receiver
you the feel.
getting more, yes.
Yeah. All right. Let me write that down. Dollar. Got the dollar bet. Hey,
$1 bill, y'all.
hey, who Heineke last year, right, in the Tampa game? Oh, my Alexa or whatever heard me.
He's talking to you.
I kept saying who. All right. How many touchdowns did Heineke throw in that Tampa game? Do you remember?
One.
Is
I
it
don't.
2?
It was 1 or 2. I don't
One?
remember for sure. But who was one of them too? Wasn't one of them to Steven Sims Jr.? Didn't he have? Wasn't that beautiful corner route? Maybe that was an Alex Smith. Maybe I'm getting mixed up or whatever. But I remember that beautiful corner route late in the season that Steven Sims Jr. caught.
It was Steven Sims Jr.
and
caught
it
the
was just
touchdown
an-
pass
It was.
from Heineke, his
Yeah.
lone
Thank you.
touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm a Steven Sims Jr. guy.
Oh my god.
So I think he's making the squad. That's my.
If he makes the squad, where is he going to play, Stoner?
He's
We
gonna
have
back
Curtis
up Humphries
Samuel.
in the slot.
We have Humphreys. So he's going to be sitting on the bench until his name is called for
You know
what?
Who you're not going to see? Curtis Samuel. You're not going to see
Yes,
him.
we are.
Boy.
You're
Nah,
gonna-
dog. Rivera knows his boy. Rivera knows his boy. He's had him before. Why would you rush your top free agent you signed probably through a whole soft season? Why would you rush him through these measly preseason games when we know what he already has?
I tend to agree with that, but I don't know. I don't like what I'm hearing. This is the same thing we heard with Richardson. It's the same thing we heard with Jackson all the time. It was the same thing with Doxson, all those guys. Oh yeah.
You just compared Josh Dotson to Curtis Samuel.
I'm just saying.
I was waiting for Malcolm Kelly to be his next reference point there.
That you always say, "Oh no, they're fine. Don't worry about them. And then they never play.
The only thing I remember about Malcolm Kelly was the vision of seeing him on the bike every game. Every game, he's just on the bike, just out there, just pedaling along.
Remember that draft? Malcolm Kelly, the kid from
Devin
Michigan
Thomas.
State, Devin Thomas, and Fred Davis. And we thought we were going to Super Bowl with that offense.
Fred Davis.
I miss Fred Davis.
They were terrible.
Yeah, he was a fun one. I remember being upset that Devin Thomas has a Super Bowl ring with the Giants. I remember being upset.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, call me Mr. Petty, because I was not having that. It was bad enough that the Giants were going to win, but then to have this absolute bum get a ring was just like, come on, man. As I'm still cleaning up the water over here, by the way, as I'm finding more and more.
How much water did you spill?
I know, right?
My entire Ref the District cup here, I had just filled it up,
12-ounce cup, yes.
and then I got excited and knocked it over, and now I'm having to pay the price, and thankfully nothing too damaging. So
Lid.
Gotta get a
Invest in a
lid.
lid.
We do have a few of these stickers. We're gonna get Trevor one. He could put it on his Fresca can there. We're not sponsored.
They
by
said that
Fresca.
last week, you guys, so I'm still waiting for that.
I know.
Mail takes a little while. Mail takes some time.
Hey, can you tell I'm itching for the dollar segment? I want to throw some
you
cash.
are getting
I want to get
there.
some bets.
You are getting there. All right. Final take for the game. We know the scores don't matter. It's preseason. But hit me up with the stat lines. Hit me up with a score line, if you will.
27-13 Washington football team.
Wow.
I want to win.
I'm
I'm taking this preseason is serious.
All right. I've got, what'd you say, 27-13 Washington? All right. I got 27-13 New England. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to go with 24-17
It does matter. It means our
Washington
defense is
football team.
shaky.
That's
what that means.
I think that it's going to be basic. Here's the thing, as I do think Washington is going to win, but that's because I don't think Bill Belichick cares about preseason. Like he's just he just goes through the motions. So, all right. That's our take for our first preseason game. Preseason one.
Maybe this year because he actually has a quarterback competition. He hasn't had one of those in God knows how long.
That's fair.
That's fair. Like
Trevor brings up a good point. So
that's why they're going to score 27.
All right, next.
When we come back for the post game, it's the return of our Dollar segment. Spencer Dinwiddie has the most interesting rider on his contract that I've seen in quite some time. It'll be the hardest dollar this man has ever earned because he will get $1, which he has asked for to be in pennies if the Washington Wizards win the championship. My man.
I want to know how that conversation happened.
Yeah. I bet you it was a pretty interesting one, and he's having some fun with it, and we want to have some fun with it here on Ref the District. And so we're bringing back a segment. This is Trevor's first time here on Dollar. So the history behind this is the Stoner and I go way back about a decade, and we're not really big bettors. But on occasion, we'd be like, all right, well, I bet you $1 that this is going to happen or this won't happen or whatever be the case. And so we've extended that here to Ref the District. So dollar bets. Now they're not on something as simple as I bet $1 for the Washington football team to win tomorrow. That's too simple. You can go to a spets bar, actual sports betting location and do that. Even some of the prop bets are too simple. How many turnovers and how many receptions, all that. No, we want some really wonky things. And now Stoner's going to misremember the dollar from the Super Bowl.
No, I didn't misremember. I remember.
You remember? Let's hear what happened then, please, Stoner. Enlighten us, because I would love to hear this rendition coming out of you.
Okay, I can get very long-winded in my stories, but I'm going to make this short. I bet you $1 that Kansas City would win, and I was wrong, and I lost. There you go.
Not only were you wrong on who would win, but I was also right on my dollar bet, which was Travis Kelce having more receiving yards than the wide receivers, which he did. So
Okay. So did you win $2?
I did. I won your dollar and I won my dollar.
Oh, I mean,
Dollar.
You won both of those bets, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how come I don't owe you $2? I only owe you $1. Oh, did you lose another bet though? That you're failing to remember?
I have not lost that bet yet.
Oh.
Oh, that's the Reyes bet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you went 2-0 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I went 2-0 in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'd forgotten that. That I did misremember. I thought we had 3 bets and I won one of them.
No,
but I guess
the third bet is right now that we have ongoing is Samus Reyes making the 53-man roster. I was bullish on this. I thought that he was gonna be a lock for it. I thought this guy was gonna be great. And then they go out and pick up Bates in the 4th round. They signed 2 veterans, and I was just like, wow, that dollar went away real quick, real quick. So
yeah, you're definitely losing that one. I can chalk that one up. That's a win.
Yeah,
I'm putting that one in my pocket.
Well, now we have Trevor on board with us, and,
all right.
And so Trevor, now that you understand the rules, the confines, what is going to be your first dollar bet?
My dollar bet is Steven Sims Jr. will not make the 53.
Well, that's not going way out on a limb or anything.
All right, fine. I'll change it. Give me a second. Let me change it. Hold on.
I appreciate you having the conviction that was going to happen, but that's not going out on a limb or anything.
There's only one person defending Steven Sims Jr. on this podcast, and he defined balling out as 5 catches for 61 yards.
Maybe that was just a personal bet between me and Stutter.
I put 65 on here.
61.
So 61.
I took the over. You can put that down for $1 for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm taking the over.
You want a piece of that
Say
bet,
it again?
Trevor?
Which one?
I said that the leading receiver for Washington in tomorrow night's preseason game against New England will have less than 61 yards receiving. Nathan says the leading receiver will have more than 61 yards receiving.
You don't have to take it.
I'm
You can
gonna
sit this one
no,
out.
I
you
don't
don't
take it. Can I put a dollar bet saying Lamar Miller will score 2 touchdowns tomorrow?
Oh, I'll take it.
One receiving and 1 rushing.
Ooh,
I'll
we're getting
take it.
specific. All right. That's a good dollar bet. I like that one.
Right, I'm writing it down. Are you getting a piece of that, Nathan?
I definitely don't think that's going to happen. I won't put $1 on that one. I'll let Trevor's dollar ride here.
You said you don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's.
I
gonna
do
happen.
think it's good.
Right.
He thinks it's
I
going to
think
happen.
it's gonna
I'm not.
happen.
I'm not
Right,
saying
yeah.
it's $1. Oh yeah, I'll say that it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So he's
Now
it's
hold
$2
on here.
against-
I want to make sure because I'm going
I
to
love
rules
gambling.
lawyer this a little bit. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So Trevor said 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. If Lamar Miller scores 3 touchdowns, do I win?
No.
If he scores 2 touchdowns but both are rushing, do I win?
No. It's just 2 TDs.
Trevor got super specific here, and I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting myself into. Now, I'll still take it. I don't think Lamar Miller's going to score twice.
All right, you're up against $2 there, Trevor.
All right.
This could bust your bankroll if you lose. All right, under. All right, got it. Nathan, you got any that you want to put out there?
I will put $1 down.
All right,
saying
Nathan.
that Bates will be the most productive tight end tomorrow.
Well, now you just talked about having specifics. What does that mean? Most
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm
what do
saying
you mean
Trevor
productive?
was walking into the trap of having specifics.
Well,
So I'm saying that he will have the
define productive.
quantitative totals. He'll be the most productive. He'll have the most yards, I'll say.
Okay. Most receiving yards
Most receiving yards
of the tight ends.
of the tight ends.
Can y'all see this? Probably not very well. Yep. Of tight ends. I'll take that. Trev, you want that?
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Yeah, I'll take that.
He steals Jones gonna kill
Bates.
that one.
Yeah, Bates isn't even going to catch the ball.
You want to put $1 down on that? You want to put $1 down on that? I'll take that.
That he gets 0 catch? Yeah.
All right. Okay.
0 catch.
Trevor, I know you're getting in that one. I know you're getting on this one.
Tag me in that one too.
All right, Stoner. Bates, 0 catches. 0 receptions. You're both getting in on that? I need another whiteboard. I'm running out of room on this whiteboard.
I don't have any more dollar bets. I think these are pretty good for me right this time. Trevor, you got any more? You got any good ones?
I'm good. All
right, Stoner, you got any more?
Yeah, I got one. Montez. Steven Montez.
Oh boy.
Throws a touchdown.
Come on, that's good. That's a given.
I'll say he throws 2 interceptions.
Ooh.
Oh, what'd you say? 2 picks for Montez?
Yeah.
Can I go over that? Can I say he's gonna have more than 2?
Not a lot of love for Montez there. We got Jazzy in the chat here. Her dollar bet here is Logan Thomas will drop 2 catches tomorrow.
Oh, no chance.
Oh my God!
I want it.
I'll take that as well. Logan Thomas isn't playing more than one drive, and he's not even going to see 2 looks.
More than 2 drops or 2 drops?
We'll drop 2 catches tomorrow.
2 drops.
I've got one more too.
All right. So, Trevor, you getting in on that Jazzy bet?
Nah.
You don't want that? All right.
Nah. This is my last one. As a matter
of
fact, you might can even replace my first one with this one. Who knows? But Trapke will play cornerback and record 1 interception tomorrow.
Trapke gets a pick? Nope.
Trapke gets a pick tomorrow.
I'll take that.
Trapke gets a pick tomorrow.
I'll take that. I think Trapke gets scored on tomorrow.
I think you're going to be able to easily read the back of his jersey and know how to spell his last name very well by the end of the
he's balling at cornerback.
No.
Do you think he's making the roster?
No.
No, Trevor? Do you think he's making the roster?
Do we get audio to that? Do we get audio to that, Trevor?
Yes.
You think he's making the roster?
Making the roster?
All right.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll save that. That's not $1, but we'll save that.
We'll save
There's no
that.
chance.
Save that one.
Especially if DeAndre Carter makes the roster as the returner, then, like I said, you got one less defensive back. He's not making it for sure. Then, for sure. But anyway,
I guess we'll find out. I do want to know your dollar bet, so please hit us up on Twitter, or you can hit us up in the comments like Jazzy did during our live show here on YouTube. Again, we're streaming Wednesday because the actual game is Thursday, and we want to watch it and enjoy it too, especially now that we got all these dollars riding on the game.
Now we got something to really pay attention to.
Hey, did you take the Trapke bet, Nathan?
Oh, Trapke's not getting an interception. He's going to get scored on. So we will be back to Thursday next week, and then you'll catch us at the game. Trevor and myself at the game, so do hit us up for that. Again, we stream here on our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform as well. So if you wanted to listen to the repeat there, and then you'll also find us this Friday. All 3 of us are on board. That's right. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but Trevor is actually going to join us all August long. And so we are going to be doing our Thursday shows. And then on top of that, we have what's going to be called the Day After Reckoning. So that's going to be our specific podcast for us to talk about the game the day after, hence the Day After Reckoning. So that'll be coming this Friday. You can catch us at 7 o'clock on Friday evening, where we'll talk about this New England game, and we'll update you on where we are with our dollar bets. That's why Stoner was keeping those
We'll be
down.
rich.
I think you're going to be buying me my first beer at the stadium. That's how bad you're going to be down by the time this runs out. So, all right. Well, this has been episode 29 of Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. He's the Stoner, and that's Trevor Stores joining us again and for all of August. And until next time, be a fan.
Be a fan.
I'm a pretty bad kid.
We love Washington, and we some die-hard fans. Yeah, we are. And you know we keep it on 10. Let's talk about the offense. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
And they gifted.
We are
Nathan and the Stoner. Yeah, that's Ref the District.
Oh, that's the podcast.
Come on out and join us.
You join it.